Hi, I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Today is a very special episode. It is episode 472, and today is the Day of Acceptance for People with Disabilities. Now, the Day of Acceptance for People with Disabilities is a annual Remembrance Day, and it's a Remembrance Day for all of us to remember that we are worthy of existing in this life and being proud. And today is not the only day that we should be doing that, but today is one of the key days that the disability community does that, because we just need people to understand. And I don't want this to seem infantile, but we need people to grasp that we are worthy of existing and we are worthy of showing up in the world. But more than that, this day is about saying, for disabled people, I accept myself fully and who I am. So, with that said, I thought I would come in here and tell you guys my story of self acceptance. So, as you guys know, I was born with CP, cerebral palsy, and my journey to acceptance has been quite the roller coaster. In my younger years, I thought nothing of it. I was who I was, and I moved how I moved. And my cousins, who were my best friends, never treated me any differently than they did each other, being non-disabled. And I was just always considered part of the family. I did everything that my cousins did, to the point where I could do it. And then when I got into junior high, that's when things got a little hairy. Because when you get into seventh grade, eighth grade, and you're 12 and 13 years old, and 14 years old, and on, you quickly find out that you're different, because then all the stares that matter start. Um, when I was younger, I would get stared at, but I had no problem answering why I was in a wheelchair. I had no problem answering questions that, as I got older, got harder for me to answer because of the way I started to see myself. So in seventh grade and eighth grade, I started getting teased. And then in high school, I kind of regained my confidence back. I was really active in choir and clubs and things. And I fully regained my confidence back in high school. And I had my confidence like solid until I was 21. Because if you know my story, you know that when I was 21, at the end of that year, I lost my best friend. My friend Noelle passed away. And it seemed like immediately after she died, that is when things, that is when all the typical questions started getting louder. Like the what's wrong with you? And the are you going to therapy? And are you going to be quote unquote fixed? And is there anything that could help you? And I've even gotten back then I got the is it terminal question. And so that really messed me up for a long, long time. So much so, I was 39 when I came into my self acceptance. And what caused me to come into my self acceptance was, and if you know this, it's these are the episodes that I like to call live reruns because I'm retelling a story that many of you have already heard. Okay, so I came into my self acceptance when I was 39 years old, and it was because of the Rolettes and Rolettes experience virtually, and also Boundless Babe Society. So at Rolettes experience, the virtual Rolettes experience that took place in 2021, July of 2021, I got to meet so many awesome women that were like me and could not make it that year live to Rolettes experience. And we spent so much time in breakout groups on Zoom, that it was just like, wow, if these women could feel like this about themselves, which everybody was hyping each other up and saying how wonderful they were and how badass they were, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could get to that point too, where I could call myself a badass and really mean it. And back then, I started the fake it till you make it method, where I said that I wasn't going to say anything bad about myself and that I was going to work on fully accepting myself and who I was, and rejoin the community that I had shunned for so long. Um so I started to do that. And as I started to do that, I found out that Boundless Babe Society, which was the mentorship group, which is sadly no longer in existence. I'm a graduate of BBS, Boundless Babe Society. I started the program in 2021, graduated in 2022, but went back in 2023 when they started their Graduate Connect program. And their Graduate Connect program was basically the program all over again, but without the added benefit of mentorships. But when I was an undergraduate, quote unquote, my mentors pushed me to want to be seen again. Like, they pushed me to get out of my house because they knew that I used Access Service to navigate my community. So they pushed me to get out of the house in my chair once a week for coffee. And that once a week for coffee, if you know me, you know what it's turned into. That once a week for coffee is no longer once a week just for coffee. That outing is now board meetings, and committee meetings, and really being a voice, that is adding to really being a voice that is now getting tongue tied. But honestly, it's really being a voice to add value to my local disabled community and the broader disabled community of California. So, BBS and RE, Rolettes Experience, have truly, truly changed my life. I know that a lot of people say that, and it's kind of a one-off in jest thing for some people, but things like Rolex experience. Sorry, I got something on my teeth. um, Things like Rolex experience really do shape how women see themselves, and that is so important. Um, so moving on, I started taking dance class on a regular basis in 2024. August 3rd, 2024 was my first in-person dance class that was and continues to be a weekly class with a um with a recital at the end of certain sessions. So we have a winter session, which our winter recital is coming up next weekend. And then we have a summer session where our summer recital is coming up in June. Now, I go to a dance class all year, but there are 2 recitals. I just want to make that clear. But now being in that dance class, I'm not only getting fed by the community, but I'm teaching others by example what it means to be a disabled woman and be proud of it. I wasn't like that before. And I just love the opportunity that I'm getting to be that example and to be excuse me, to be there for others and have others be there for me. And I just love the camaraderie and the sisterhood specifically that goes along with this community. And I just wanted to say how grateful I am for it. Um, it took me a long time to get to where I am today, both mentally and physically, and I could not be more proud or more grateful for what has happened in my life. So, you guys, I hope that you are all having a beautiful, blessed day. I love you and thank you for joining this podcast. I will talk to you later. God bless. Bye bye.